have you ever had a thought of getting a burner account?
Okay.
And I said no, because Guru's great. As I type it, I would feel guilty the inside that I had to go to that extent to pump me up. So my question to you, Steiny, in front of all the listeners, have you ever thought, or do you have a burner account?
No.
Hey, cool.
I
would never
I have an Instagram account that I basically never post on and just...
but it has your name.
Unless it's a ham and cheese sandwich.
But hold on a sec. Let's define burner. Because there's
when it's not you,
right?
And you just pump you up.
Well, I think. Well, I also consider a burner account. All right, and I'm going to use him. He's a friend of the show.
Be careful.
Well, actually, I won't use his name. I think there are a lot of people out there with burner accounts that never post. They just read. So, like, I think Steph Curry might have a burner, but he just reads and knows everything. I'm talking
about the KD one, where the agenda is Kevin Durant. Steiny's the best.
No, in fact,
he's the star of the show.
In fact, I go the opposite way. Back in the day, maybe 10, 12 years ago, the Warriors World, Warrior
Shout
fan
out
site,
one
of the original great Warrior sites. There was incredible basketball discussion there. And I just was like, you know what? Matthew Steinmetz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just said, I jumped in, and I'm like, every time I posted, it was just me.
But that's how it should be. We got some people that don't, you know what I mean? Try to get there. Do you
think there's something inherently wrong with a burner account?
It's weak. It's pretend. Be who you are.
But doesn't KD
stand on what you stand on business?
But doesn't KD get at people on his own account?
Yeah, but when you go to the burner route, you want to do it and act like it's not you. So that's fraudulent to me.
I've never done that.
Yeah, that's weak.
Yeah,
if you ever think you want to do it, call me, and I'll talk you out of it. That's weak. You got to stand on your name, and you can say whatever you want.
What if you get blocked out of a social media platform and you have to start another account with like another name?
Yeah,
an alias.
Yeah. Anyway, Butch asked me that, floored me.
You know, I hope I'm not throwing this guy under the bus, but when I was talking about Wiggins earlier, I said, you know, what's the big upside, if there's an upside to Wiggins coming back, and then what are you most concerned with? And Evan, remember I asked you that before the show. I said, Evan, what would be the thing you're most concerned about with Andrew Wiggins? And what if I told you this? I hadn't really thought about this,
and
but
tell him
maybe I should.
Before he pays off the tees, tell him what I asked you during the break. I just blurted it out to you that I was concerned. I don't know if it's about what Evan's going to say.
Well, Guru and I are like-minded, but my biggest concern would be that his serious familial issue is not over, and that he might just say, I'm not coming into work tomorrow.
Evan, I swear at break, I didn't know that you had thought that. I was listening to Willard and Dibbs play the sound, and I got to give the reporters credit, the young lady, Steiny, that was over there at Chase talking to Wiggins, and I'm in the caddy crossing the bridge like he was honest, and basically it's like it's not finished.
Taking care of being on the team, take care of being present.
My bad. My bad.
What happened?
I pushed buttons that I shouldn't have.
Oh, boy.
This is Wiggins talked for
3 minutes.
This guy is very private.
This
guy does not like drama.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know if he likes drama or not, but he really likes to keep to himself. How we doing, Andrew?
Yeah, not exactly. But I just take it day by day.
He was asked, "Is the family matter pretty much over?"
Yeah, not exactly. But I just take it day by day.
Wow.
So that was Wiggins
being honest,
and then Anthony Slater of The Athletic and our 95.7 The Game NBA insider said that here's what he said.
I would say the hope would be he is. Again, I mean, he even said it yesterday. This isn't like a completely solved issue, but he's planning to be here, and like as you mentioned, like life can throw curveballs. So I certainly he couldn't guarantee it, and I can't guarantee it.
Wow, and that lets you know, just for me, Steiny, not being nosy, that it's not all the way done. And Evan, I had that same thought, like, and again, Steiny, I guess they'll they would proceed accordingly, just like they have last year, this one, and hopefully, he doesn't have to get away again. But he kept it all the way 100.
I mean, you hope he's here for good.
No doubt.
Obviously. Let's 888-957-9570 is the number. I do want to throw this out there too, because I can't ignore a certain sentiment among the fans. Everybody knows I'm not a Warrior fan, okay? But the one thing I feel like I do have an understanding of is Warrior fans, not in general, but how certain fans are feeling at certain times. Doing this for 3 decades. And I'd be lying if I said there's not a segment of fans, I don't know how big, I don't know what percentage, but I do think there's a segment of fans, and I saw it on the text line, I saw it on the chat line, who are thinking, you know what, let's just roll with Moody. Let's just roll. That doesn't mean Wiggins is back and you never play him. But I do think there's a segment of Warrior fans that their heads are gonna explode if he has to leave again.
I told you guys yesterday, Steiny, I totally get that, but at the end of the day, fandom can take you so far. The people that are in control, and when I say control, Joe Lacob, Dunleavy, and Steve Kerr are doing what's best for the team. So if they feel like, Wiggins gets his spot right back, I just roll with that. But I'm not going to sit here and look you in the face, Donnie, and tell you I don't understand from a fan stand. I totally could get that.
Well, we don't know.
The best part for the team to reach its ultimate goal or as get close as possible is 22 back in the starting lineup.
I always when stuff happens, I don't automatically think, it's going to be great or it's going to be terrible. I try to look at both sides. So Wiggins could come back and add something. He's right back in the starting lineup. But if this thing's not done and he's got to take more time off, well, then I do think it's fair to ask, how come he came right back in the starting lineup? That would be a big adjustment. If he's back in the starting lineup and then he has to leave again, but he's leaving again as a starter. That's a danger.
Let me throw this at you.
Yep.
And I got to be careful here, Evan, Steiny. Andrew Wiggins did not say this, nor does he want it. But from a fan perspective, him answering that question and letting everybody know that the situation is not all the way rectified, I'm looking at you, Steiny, and asking, does he get any credit for coming back as soon as he has? Does that mean anything to fans? Because to me, now that I feel like, again, it's not about me knowing that something still is going on, I can give him all the credit in the world just for me. For trying to come back, and it may take you back, but you tried to come back, if that makes sense. Now that didn't happen last year, but Steiny, hearing him talk and the way that he was talking, I felt something is still, is out there. So I guess I want to commend him for just trying to come back. Is that valid, or
you can? Yeah. I'm not.
Just me.
I'm not, because until we know what it is, I can't make a judgment on whether he shouldn't have gone at all or he should take another 10 days off.
So this falls under reliability?
No, you know how I look at this right now? Right now. You know what? He had a sprained knee, missed 4 games. Against Denver Sunday and a half ago, I just looked, you know what? He came out of that Denver game and he had some knee. He didn't have any knee soreness. He's fine.
Gotcha.
But I look at it as though, well, what if he just would have tweaked an ankle in that game and he was out for 10 days? That's the way I look at it. Okay, Wiggins has missed 4 games. At this point, it doesn't matter if it's an injury or personal reason. How's he coming back? How's he playing? But I'm not giving him credit for coming back, but I'm not giving him credit for coming back because I have no idea why he wasn't there in the first place.
Well, I think Anthony said life throws curveballs at us, and we both know that. And the fact that he's saying it's a seriously, I think, again, I'm not trying to do Wiggins' math, but I think we know it's a serious family issue. I guess I'm saying to you, partner, that's enough for me. And that's just, what I'm like.
Right, but do we want to get into Like, this is the thing. And this is why I kind of hope we never find out. Because if we find out, then what we're going to, we're going to be like, well, didn't this guy's dad have this and he played through it? Or that guy's mom had this? He's back. Yeah. We don't know why. He doesn't want us to know why. I actually don't have a curiosity as to why. I really don't. So I'm just going to look at it as though he was banged up for a week and a half.
And now they're whole.
Let's go. Let's go to Chris. Chris is in San Jose. Get us started. Lead us off. Table set, Jerry Revin.
Young is good. Being young is good, guys.
I wouldn't know.
Having kids and having family matters is personal. You play the game. He plays his game. He comes back. He plays. He's fine. I'm from Santa Clara, California. I watch a lot of great kids come out of Santa Clara.
Kurt Rambis.
I got to watch
Dennis Autry.
I got to watch Steve Nash, Eddie Joe Chavez. I watched a bunch of great players.
How about Dennis Autry?
Yeah, come on. Listen, the Warriors are the Warriors. They got young, they got old. The young hopefully learns from the old. I got a 100-year-old father and a 95-year-old mother.
Oh, you're blessed. Alive. You're blessed.
I am blessed. I've been a Warriors fan for over 51 years. Okay. Love the team.
All right.
Let them play.
Yeah.
Let them play. Let Steve coach. Let them play. That's all I got to say. Go Santa Clara.
Oh, yeah. That's Socrates.
Dude, 190, right, Mom and Dad. What are you guys drinking? I need some of it. Whoa. I want to be here till 100. I'm on record.
Well, it depends.
Yeah. What'd you have? Maybe Dallas will win a Super Bowl.
My dad lived till 90, and I'll tell you right now, he did not want those last 10 years the way the last 4 were. Yeah, I told you, Rick Barry.
What'd he say?
The great R.C. Davis, who worked with Rick Barry. Rick Barry's goal is to fly fish on his 100th birthday. Rick's still very active.
Oh, my God. Did you see him on pregame with Bonte and Molly?
When?
Well, about a week ago. He had something to say.
He was at the Nuggets game.
Yeah, he's at the Nuggets
Denver game.
Yeah, thank you.
Did anyone see postgame? Was he on postgame?
Steiny, he went off.
So he was on postgame.
Yeah. They asked him a question.
Because he couldn't have ripped anybody in pregame. They were playing pretty well.
He was just saying, don't count this team out. But he got his fastball still. I remember him on Bay Area radio still. Thought he should have been the coach of the Warriors.
Ugh.
Well, now, what was that? That was like interjet. What was that?
I don't think Rick Barry would have been a good coach at all.
Because he would tell you like it is.
Because he couldn't relate to young players. He would fight me.
Is that your job to relate? Because, I'm putting my hand up. I don't know how your parents are, or Evan's. I have friends that say, my kids are not my friends. I'm your MFing parent. So there's going to be some, I don't want you to like me.
I don't think not hiring Rick Barry cost any team a title. Again,
But I do think he had that's what we're missing, is that was a sheriff. I don't care who you, Steph, he'll come at you. He'll just tell you like it is. That's why I love me some Rick Barry.
You do realize that if like Rick Barry had coached Steph Curry, that relationship may have gone south.
Because what? He didn't cater? Steph don't need no cater. Who would Steph ever get mad at? The dude handles his business.
One of the greatest players that became became great coaches. Great players. Not
Kevin McHale.
I wouldn't. First of all, I'm talking about, like, I guess you could say Bill Russell.
Pat Riley.
He wasn't a good player.
In college.
Okay. Yeah, but he didn't. I'm talking about Magic.
Phil Jackson.
The best.
Larry Bird.
Phil Jackson was a role player.
Okay.
Bird would be it. But even Bird. Larry Bird said, when I coach, I'm coaching 3 years. He said, I'm coaching 3 years because after 3 years, guys have a tendency to tune you out.
Did Jerry West ever coach?
I think, I
want to say
channel my winning time. I bet he coached a little. Like, he might have been an interim to finish a year, maybe.
Wow.
But I think great players just struggled to be a great coach.
Mark Jackson, yeah.
Is he in the Hall of Fame, Mark Jackson?
Not yet.
I'm talking about great players. Steve-O in San Francisco.
Oh, boy.
I'm talking about like Kobe. Would Kobe have been a great coach?
I think so.
I don't.
Michael Jordan, too.
Michael Jordan has no tolerance to coach. Oh, he couldn't even GM, and he couldn't even own.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what's up, Steve-O?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I want to go back to my greatest fear of bringing Wiggins back. And that is, if he comes back, he was playing some of his best basketball of the season. What if he comes back and he's out of rhythm, and then we got to play him until he gets into his rhythm, and we've got 4, 5, 6 games where he's trying to get his shot back and his drive and his defensive, IQ back together. That, yeah, we're secure in the play-in tournament where I think we're 5 games up over 11, but you don't want to be like test driving a new vehicle when you're leading into the playoffs. You got to be fine-tuning it. And so that's my biggest fear.
Appreciate the call. I think, assuming Wiggins is here for the duration, I think they have plenty of time to develop or continue this cohesion.
And you can slump by not going by just playing. That's, that's always on the table, Steiny. You can, you know what I mean? Steph could, obviously we don't want it, but that's on the bingo card. You can struggle just by playing the game.
Jerry West coached 3 years for the Lakers.
What about Jerry Sloan?
Got to the Western Conference Finals. Jerry Sloan was a great coach.
He wasn't a superstar.
I'm actually talking about like the top 20 players of all time. Who are they? Shaq. I don't think Shaq would be a great coach.
So you mean like a head coach? Because like Hakeem Olajuwon works with players in the offseason as a personal coach, but not a head coach.
I'm just telling you, the perception is that when players are so great,
they ain't got
Magic felt this when he was a coach of the Lakers. He just couldn't.
For 8 days.
He just couldn't. He was just too great a player to coach guys that couldn't live up to his acumen as a player.
It was like, hey, why did you guys just do this? Oh, Magic, we're not you.
Jason Kidd's a pretty good one.
Oh, Jay Kidd, no Hall of Famer.
Pretty good one, Jason Kidd.
Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle was 9th man on a Celtics
What about
team.
Lenny Wilkins?
Lenny Wilkins was a really good player.
But not Hall of Famer.
No, I think he is in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure if he's a Hall of Famer as a player.
Coach the Sonics.
Or not. But I'm just talking about the greats.
I would want to, like Chris Mullen. Could he coach?
Never coached.
He coached St. John's. He coached my nephew, Brandon Lawrence. But I'm talking about NBA, Steiny. Would he have the wherewithal to, these dudes now with their iPhones and their Instagram at halftime, they probably want to throw the phones up against the wall. I know I would as a coach.
Yeah, I think Mullen probably did have the temperament to do it. But I'm telling you, man, when you play for 16 years and then you're out of it and then you're like, hey, do you want to coach? I think these guys think, man, it was a grind traveling, and now I'm a little bit older.
I'm going to give you one name before we get back to it that I watch. He still loves the game. He has no idea I feel this way about him. But, Steiny, I want him to be a head coach yesterday.
Patrick Ewing.
Well, no, I let
he
that
went
one.
to Georgetown.
Yeah,
he went 2-49.
Sam Cassell.
No, I don't.
I watch him, and
he's on a lot of.
But I'm like, how many do you? You're on the Eric Bieniemy track. Like
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers was a really good player. He was. He was a really good player.
What are you saying about him as a coach? I'm not running material like.
He won a title.
He'll be here tonight.
Yeah, and that fresh hairline.
Let's go to Jason in the Central Valley.
Stop.
What's up, Jason? How you doing, man?
I'm good, Steiny. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Sure.
I don't think I'm not worried about Moody. And the reason why I say that is because I listened to his podcast interview that he was on with Evan Turner and Iguodala on the Point Forward podcast. That kid has his head on straight. He knew coming out for the draft when he declared that he knew whatever team he was going to go to, he would not get a lot of playing time. And he was ready to have his first few years in the NBA as a developmental prospect. So I think he's perfectly fine where he is. I just hope that he doesn't fall too far out of the rotation. I would like to see him as one of the top 3 guys coming off the bench in today's game. I hope Kerr rewards him in that way, in some fashion, and I hope that's it. In terms of Wiggins, I mean, come on. As far as him coming to the Warriors when we first got him, I think all Warrior fans were concerned about that from the beginning. And I think with Wiggins, what you see is what you get. He's an up-and-down player. He'll get good and he'll get bad. We just hope we get the good once playoff time comes around. That's all I got to say about Wiggins, and everything else Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Here's what Steve Kerr said about Moody.
Yeah, Moses will continue to get time. He's earned it. He's really just been so professional about everything since the day he walked into this building 2.5 years ago. He's a pro, so excited to continue to get him some minutes, and hopefully we can bounce back from that last game. Tough one.
He's a pro, and
we all love
he
Moody.
can handle that, and that's why we'll take advantage of him. We do the same with Looney.
But it's like your boss at McDonald's. Hey, you're on fries. You're off fries. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do what your boss says, and Moody has been professional.
But you only ask certain people to do things.
This is Kavon Looney.
Hey, Kavon, what's going on,
man? You're going to need him. Put it in the cap. You're going to need Loon
they might for a 4-minute stretch at some point.
I can't get over that
Everybody else
layup he smoked Sunday and then fell down. And it wasn't in traffic. Loon Dog, I'm riding for you. Tonight's tonight.
The great R.C. Davis has texted me and said Bird won Coach of the Year.
Oh,
one of those 3 years.
R.C. is the guy.
I think they got to the NBA Finals, or certainly the Eastern Conference Finals with Larry Bird.
Eastern Conference, right?
Yeah.
Was Larry Brown the head? No, sorry, my bad.
We're talking about the 2001 series or 2000.
I don't remember. I just know that Bird coached the Pacers for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he didn't want to have anything to do with Boston or Jason Tatum down the line.
That still bothers me.
Yeah, Larry Bird was the head coach when they got to the finals.
He sent Clay a video, but put Jaylen Brown and Tatum on ice for 8 years. Dude, what did Boston do to Bird? Dude, that's a 30 for 30.
Tatum's been in the league, 6, 7 years? So who's a Warrior equivalent to that? Who's been with the Warriors for 7 years? Looney?
Yeah, sure.
I think there's a chance Looney hasn't met some of the Warrior greats.
He's met Eric Sleepy Floyd, I'm sure. And he's met Rick Barry.
I love Sleepy Floyd, but we're talking about Bird here.